Alright, this is my golden age of Strat from 1977 to 1984. And this special video is going to examine how I evaluate cards that I will have in my carryover league by looking at a very small sample size of cards. In this small sample size, I'm going to be looking at some free agent cards from the 1984 season that will be participating next year in the 1983, 84, 69, 70 league. And by participating, I mean they will be in the draft. The question remains, will these free agents be drafted or not? Do they have enough talent to be in the league? And I will be evaluating the cards and looking for things that I specifically want in a player to participate in the league. So these are cards from 1984, and this is generally the stack that's right here I'm going to examine. It's just over about 50 cards. These are all hitting cards I'm going to examine. Now these cards were available in the 81, 82, 83, 84 draft, and they were not picked because they weren't good enough. Then after that there was the 83, 84, 69 draft. They were not good enough. So these cards have two more cracks of getting into a 4-year carryover league, because again, each year in Strat-O-Matic card sets are only available to participate in a 4-year cycle. So this is the third crack of these cards to get into the league. This 50 card set, what we're going to examine in this discussion, is going to be hitting cards that are, this is a random set of cards that are mostly fringe players, and of course because they're not in the league they're probably not very good players, but we're going to look at this fringe card list a little closer, evaluate the cards, and see what are their what perhaps do I see in the cards, what could they bring to the league, and what are the chances of each individual card of possibly being drafted in next year's draft. They are ordered from catchers to outfield, starting with switch hitters, left-handers, right-handed hitters. And we will get right to it. And we will begin by looking at the catchers. And we will start. The first catcher we're looking at is a gentleman by the name of Donnie Scott. And when I look at this card, I see a switch hitting catcher with a -1 arm, and I think, wow, there we got some potential. I'm interested. Let's keep going. I look at the top line. I see nothing exciting except he's a B bunter, which is nice to know. I look at his split and I see that he hits righties better than lefties. This card pattern I'm looking at is what I call the 10 card. It's the 10th best hitter on the team. And on the 10th card, I prefer to see hits going from 2 to 6, 9 to 10, 10 down to 5 for an exceptional 10 card hitter. He's not an exceptional hitter. His hit stops at a 1 to 8 chance on 9. And then I look in the 1 column. I hope I have some walks. I have a couple. I look on the left side of the card. I see just doubles are nice, but there's not enough hits. There's no power. There's no walks. This looks like a 220 hitting player. If I had to guess his batting average, I would say 220. And he hit 221. And Donnie Scott, I'm going to give him a very small chance of getting into the league, maybe a 25% chance, just because he's got a -1 arm, which is nice, and he's a switch hitter, but probably not. Moving on. Brad Goulden, left-handed hitting catcher, +1 arm. Don't like that. Don't like his fielding. Top line, nothing special. Has power versus righties. He has a homer ability. I like a walk on 8 and 9 for a crappy hitting card like this. Possibly in a platoon. Not enough hitting. Not even a 240 hitter. This is homer 1 fly ball. I hate that. Single one, hate that. Don't like anything here. This is a 220 hitter also. 226. Goodbye. Probably not. Next guy, Dan Billow Dillo. All right. Top line. Okay, he's a -1 arm catcher, so I'm interested. I'm looking at this line. I see, okay, B-boner, I can live with that. C hit and runner. All right, I'm still interested at least. I mean, worst case, I can do a bunter hit and run if he can't hit. As a right-handed hitter, I like to have him better split against lefties. He has more bases against lefties than righties. Could this guy be a backup catcher on a team? I say possibly, yeah. This guy could get in the league just against lefties for backup a good strong left-handed hitting catcher like a Ted Simmons or a Terry Kennedy or somebody like that. He could be the backup because he's got an arm. Not much against righties. So I'll give him a 25% chance. He hit 209, and you're thinking, whoa, that's worse than the other guys. But the splits are good. 47% against righties, and he's terrible. He's horrible. So you want him just against lefties, and you want the arm. Moving on. Dave Van Gorder, +1 arm catcher. Oh, he can play first. Big whoop. He's decent against lefties. 5-7. Single 1-6. That's like a 256, 260 against lefties, maybe. No power. There's nothing here. Maybe 240 hitter or 235 hitter. 228 because the splits against righties 30%. That explains that. No, he's not going to make it. Mike Fitzgerald. All right, a 0 arm catcher. Nothing special in the top line. A B-bunter's decent. I see power against lefties. I see a catcher who at least has some balance, mediocrity, and balanced mediocrity. Don't like the fly out there. There's no hit there. On this card, there's nothing special. This is another 235 card. If he had a good throwing arm, if his splits were balanced, where he was dominant on one side, I might be interested. I'd prefer Billow Dillo because he had the -1 arm. So I'm going to say 10% chance getting the league, 242. Next guy, Orlando Mercado. No, just no. Bobby Ramos. No. I see those home runs and I'm thinking, okay, but maybe not enough. Just not enough home runs. Nah. That's it for catchers. Not a good year for catchers in the fringe list. Next position is fringe first base. First guy that pops up, Scott Thompson. I'm looking at this card. I'm getting excited about this. He's a 3-3. He can field. B stealer. I like guys who are B's, A's, double A's. This guy is kind of a contact hitting first baseman, a la Carew and those type of guys. This guy gets hits, gets on base. This is a 300 hitting card. You look at the split and you can see he's strictly a platoon first baseman. This is the mark of a 300 hitter. And against righties, he probably hits 310 or 315. Scott Thompson hit 306. I'll take him. I think this card gets in the league. I'm giving him a 75% chance. Someone's going to want, even though he doesn't have power, it's going to hurt him at first. Someone's going to want his bat on the team and his ability to play first. He'll probably get in. Give him a 2/3, 3/4 chance. Next guy, Pete O'Brien. Even better than the last guy. 2 at first base. Plenty of enough power for a platoon corner first baseman. I like the triple-double here. I like the single 1-17 there. I'm going to hit that every time. I'm not going to get the line out. Against lefties, he'll come to the plate. You don't yank him because of his defense. This is like a 280, 290 card. Would hit between 15 and 20 home runs. He hit 287 in a full season with 18 home runs. This card will get in the league, I predict. Next first baseman, Wayne Gross. This is the 10 card again. Remember we saw this earlier, starting at 2. Plenty of power. I hate the double one fly ball. The 1-15, I hope I get that. I do get my walks here. He can play first. You have flexibility at first and third. Nothing against lefty. Only a 2% though. If this percentage was higher, I would think that his overall average would be higher. This is not a high batting average at all. We're talking 200 with a bunch of home runs. 216 with 22 home runs. So he would get into the league, possibly this year or the next. The next first baseman, Gerald Perry. All right, this guy, let me put the cards down there so it'll focus better. Gerald Perry. All right, 321 first, can't really field. You can put him in the outfield, you can't field there. At least he's a beast stealer, I like that. Power against lefties and righties, can hit lefties and righties, lots of walks. This is a good formula for Strat-O-Matic. You want to get on base, you want to hit for some power. I'm looking at a 260 card with a ton of walks. And I'm thinking, sure, I'd give him a 50% chance of getting in the league. He's, first base is a tough position. You really need some pop there. He's mediocre, but I don't know. I think he could get into the league because he's a beast stealer and can hit lefties. All right, Franklin Stubbs. Not enough here. He's got some power. Not enough. Doesn't get on enough. He can field okay. Yeah, just not enough. Period. Not enough. 194. That explains a lot. Next guy, Rick Leach. All right, he can field. He can also play outfield. He's got no power. You'd have Scott Thompson before this guy. He hits 260, maybe 265. Nothing against lefties. What do we got here? 261. Yeah, no. Not at first base. Different position. First base, that's too weak. He's done. Next guy. All right, Steve Balboni. Here we go. First base, 321. Now, this is your all or nothing. This is the perfect strat card. Lots of on bases with walks and power and home runs. He's got walks and homers both ways. He's definitely playing against lefties. And against righties, he's probably playing. I'd be a little concerned here. Triple 1 to 3 fly ball. I'm never going to hit that. Double 1 to 13. I better hit that. I'm going to miss the single. No walks on 3-7 or 3-8. You may want to have a left-handed hitter to play first base on this team. Maybe Scott Thompson. There you go. How about a platoon of Scott Thompson and Steve Balboni? Not a bad idea. He'll get in the league. He'll get in the league finally. All right, next card. We're getting to Kurt Bevacqua, platoon guy. Can play other. It actually can't. He used to play all infield positions. Bevacqua. He doesn't play second and short anymore. He's known in '84 for hitting a homer in the 1984 World Series. Big whoop. Like the walks are nice. Good against lefties. Corner guy. He may get in the league just because of his prowess of getting on base and hitting for power against lefties. He's terrible against righties. That's a 242 card. 200. That's a 200 card. I didn't look at the percentages close. Oh, 45% against righties. That explains it. So he's probably a 245 with a nice on base against lefties and just dismal against righties. We're going to get to second base now. Buddy Biancalana, switch hitting second baseman, can play second and short. Well, he's good at second. He's mediocre at short. Just not. The power is nice. There's not enough stick here. He just does not hit enough. 194. There's a lot of switch hitting infielders in the 1980s. This card's just not good enough. If you want a 310 at second base, you can find one. If you want a switch hitter, you can find one. I don't see it. I mean, yeah. All right, here's one of the most interesting players in Strat. The 1984 Juan Samuel card. We're going to cover up the defense for a moment and go, wow, double-A stealer. Look, I mean, Strat-O-Matic robbed him of a gorgeous card by having 3 1-19 results against righties. If this simply said home run, triple, and single, you'd be like, all-star. This guy's getting in the league, but you're never you want him as your DH. He's your DH. You just don't want to go through an entire year of having a 4.34 play second base for you. The Phillies gave him 701 plate appearances with 28 walks, 160. Yeah, he's simply a double extra base hit machine and a stolen base machine. But you're stealing bases when you can't get on base because he only had 28 walks. This is a crazy card, but he'll actually probably get into the league this year or the next. And yes, Juan Samuel was an all-star. All right, moving on. This is probably the most famous and best card we've seen thus far. Kelvin Chapman. Second base, third base, against lefties. Okay. Sure. I like him against lefties here. This is a decent card. This is 270 above. 18%. This is probably a 265 hitting card. It's 289. And the reason it's 289 is this, look how high this percentage is against lefties, and that's very good. Sure. I mean, if you don't have a second baseman or third baseman who can hit left-handed pitching, draft Kelvin Chapman. I'd give him a 50-50 shot at getting in the league. Scott Fletcher. Okay, middleman. Why not? Plays all three infield positions. B stealer. I'm sign me up. Can he hit both ways? Sure. Halfway decent. This guy will get in the league. 265, 250. He gets in the league. Next card. Same thing. Brad Wellman, second, third, short, middle guy, B stealer. Sign me up. Hold on 1 second. Don't sign me up quite yet. He kind of sucks. Power against lefties. 231. What does he hit? 226. So Fletcher will get in the league before Wellman would. Now I move over to third base. Pagliarulo, left-handed corner third baseman. Wow, he was an interesting player, wasn't he? Greg Nettles, right? Not quite. If he was a 2, I'd like him more. He's a 320. He's decent. Not really enough production. He's okay. He doesn't even have enough power for me. These doubles and triples are nice. I don't like the 1-8, 1-8 there. I wish he had some walks here. He doesn't. Against lefties, doesn't even have power against lefties. That would have been cool. 228, 239, maybe. But again, I got a very competitive league, so we're pulling players over a period of 4 years. Once you're pulling guys from 4 years, guys like this don't make it in the league. Roy Howe, can't field, no, just forget it. 232 and can't field. Jim Presley, 4-17. Power against lefties, but it just, no, doesn't get on enough. 228, 225. What do we got? 227. No thanks. Next guy, Fran Mullins. Well, Fran Mullins is better than Presley. He could play all three positions. He definitely gets on a lot more against lefties. This guy's definitely better than Presley. The last couple of third basemen we've seen. He's not that bad against righties. I'm looking at a guy who hits about 247. What do we got? 218. What am I missing here? What did I miss? Oh, the percentage. 74% against righties. Yeah. So if he plays mostly against lefties, this card will hit you 250. And again, you can play all the positions. So if you need a utility guy, play all three positions, and mostly against left-handed pitching, I give Mullins a 1 out of 3 shot. 33% chance of getting in the league. Brooke Jacoby, third baseman, 319, right-hander. Yeah, gets on, a little bit of power. 1 of 14 is okay. What do we got? On a 1 line out, hate that. Hits there. If he's just playing against lefties and doesn't have to play against righties, I'd say he's all right. 255. 264. 264. Let's look at the percentages. Yeah, 50-50 chance. Sure. German Rivera. This is the best hitter against lefties that we've seen, and the extra base hits are fantastic against lefties. He can only play, if he played short and second, it would be sweeter. Power against righties, I don't like that. I don't like that. You know, same as the last guy, about a 1 out of 3 shot. 260. Marty Castillo, a guy who can play catcher and third's interesting. There's just nothing here. I mean, the power here is pretty good, but nah. It's not good enough. 234. Chris Brown fringe extra card. Not going to use that one. Danny Gonzalez. There's not, you know. He needs more on base. The doubles are nice here. You need more. Nah, just too fringy. $1.83. Not good enough. All right, we're going to go to shortstop in the next video. Bobby Meacham, short and second. B stealer, switch hitter. I'm interested. Against righties, not that good. Against lefties, he's on base. He's on base here, on base there. He'll get in the league, primarily to be used against lefties, and the fact he can play both middle infield. He can be stealer. He's an A-bunter, switch hitter. I think this card gets a 60% chance of getting in the league. I'm okay with this guy. Next shortstop, Spike Owen. Defense, I like it. 319, switch hitter. B stealer, A-bunter. If he was a B hit and runner, I'd say definitely. Yeah, he's a liability at the plate. Look at the homer. He's got homers both ways, but he's 232? 245. Because he can field, I'd say he's got a better chance. If he was a, you know, he's probably got a 40% chance of getting in the league. Dave Owen plays all three positions. 326 in the shortstop position was also good. Nothing on the top line any good. Power against righties, but nothing. To play against lefties, again, a 1 out of 3 shot. A team that needs help against left-handed pitching. All right, a left-handed hitting shortstop who can play second and third at 3 everywhere. Tom Foley, power against righties. Number 1 of 19 here. This is like a 255, 260 card. He can hit lefty. This guy's in the league. This has the characteristics of what I want in the league here. Flexibility. A team will take the left-handed bat with power. Left-handed bat in the middle infield, all different positions. You can leave him in the game against a lefty. I'll look at a 260 hitter. 253, right? 253, but he's not horrible. And so I gave him a 75% chance of getting in the league. All right, next guy. Dick Schofield. And what jumps off to me, first of all, is 2E16. I am paying attention. I don't care if you're Chuck Scrivener. If you're a 2E16 at short, I want you on my team. I got to figure out a way of getting it to work. What do I have? What can I work with? A-bunter. That helps. No power. Okay. Sucks against lefties, sucks against righties. Okay, well, hopefully I've got another shortstop on my team that can hit and give him 3 at-bats. Then I bring in Schofield and that defense to win the game in extra innings. So, yeah, I think Schofield and that defense will get into the league. 193. Ugh. I dread saying that, but I just love defense at short. To me is at a premium in this league. It's so important. And a 2 and a E16 at short, this is the type of guy who will figure out a way to get in the league. Jimenez, Houston Jimenez, 2E31, but he's a 2. I love 2s and 1s at short. There's nothing there to see. Nothing on the top line to see. There's no base running. There's nothing. Has, of course, a less of a chance of getting the league because his E rating is twice as worse as Schofield's. But I think because he's a 2, a team will want that defense. Jackie Gutierrez, another 2. 2E38, but B stealer. A better hitter than the last 2 guys. 240. 263. Let me look at that again. Oh, yeah, I didn't see the 8. So, yeah, this guy will get in the league. Hits righties better than lefties as a shortstop, 2, and a B stealer. These are all good qualities. The 2E38, the B. Hitting righties better than lefties. This guy will get in the league. Got 75% chance of getting in the league. Next guy, Dave Anderson. All right, 330. Can play third, but again, he's not a 2. He's a 3. A stealer, like that. Power against lefties. Walks, like that. Single 1 of 14, I like that. It's not a 1 of 2. And you wouldn't want to play him against righties. I think this is, because of the on bases, this is like a 260 card. 251. And what got that average up that high are these walks. But I think he gets in the league playing short and third against lefties, ace stealing, and this on base. The last shortstop on the, a couple more. Jeff Kunkel, terrible shortstop. There's nothing SCB, nothing. Power against, no. Simply no. 204. Nope. Jose Akendo, 321. B stealer, B bunter, like that. Why is he a D hit and runner? That's not good. Can it? No. No, I don't think so. I mean, the defense in a league, if you're desperate for defense at short, he might get in the league, but I'm not desperate at this point because I always get the best defensive players. And no, 222 is not going to make it. Argena Salazar. I don't think I have to talk about this card. No. Ron Wotus. I don't have to talk about that card. And now we'll get into the outfield. We'll start with Lee Mazzilli at the end of his rope. And nothing. He can't field anymore. He can barely run. His power. Mazzilli used to have really cool strat cards. Not here. Nope. No, it's time to retire. Get out of the game. R.J. Reynolds, a corner 2. Why is he a 4 in center? I wish he could steal. Or I wish he could do something on this top line. It's just not good enough for a corner outfielder. Maybe a platoon against lefties. 260? 258? But that's not going to cut it for a corner outfield. You got to do better than that. Mike Young. All right, here's a corner who's better than R.J. Reynolds. Oh, I hate the homer 1 fly ball there. Walks are nice. The homer's there. Probably a one-way guy against right-handed pitchers. 29% against lefties will raise his average. I'm thinking 263, 252, which means he probably hits 260 against righties because he's so bad against lefties. So possibly in a platoon. Darryl Brown, left fielder. Like I said, I need something. No power, no stealing. Hit and running's nice. Just kind of mediocre. Corner outfield. I'm just not seeing it. I mean, 273 is nice. I mean, if he was like a shortstop, sure. We're talking corner outfield now. You got to get some pop. You got to do something to win in Strat, and that's just not going to cut it. Albert Hall, a 2 in the corner. You can't play center. Nothing there against. He's got power. He can hit against lefties. Possibly a platoon against lefties only because I don't like the E16. Maybe I give him a 1 out of 3 shot. 261. Next guy, Thad Bosley. Oh boy, we got a hitter here. Corner guy, B stealer. Definitely can hit. Definitely can hit here. We're to look 295, 30. Only 3%. If this was a higher percentage, I'd say this is a 310, 320 hitter. I'm going to say this is a 300 hitter. He hits 300. 296. This guy will get in the league as a left-handed corner outfield DH against righties only. I give him an 80% chance of getting in the league. I'm surprised he's not in the league already. Bobby Jones, nothing special defensively. Top line's not that great. This is very mediocre. Just not good enough to play outfield. 259. Terry Whitfield at the end of his career. Can't field. Nothing there. Not good enough. Just not good enough. 244. And with Gary Reedus. Now, first of all, the card's trash, which is one reason I don't like it. But he is a double-A stealer, which has been ruined. He can hit both ways. This is not too bad. He had a better year in '83. A 254 card, because of his speed as a double-A stealer. Yeah, you want a double-A stealer in the league. And he does walk. And that makes up for the batting average. So, I don't like that single 1 to 3. I think he gets in the league. I might give him a 2/3, 67% chance. Daryl Motley. This is a good card. Corner 2 in left field. He can hit both ways. Doesn't even need the platoon. He can play full time. This is actually the first full-time player I've seen since we do in this video. A 284 hitter and 522 plate appearances. Here's the starter. Again, that's because, again, he's corner outfield. and you really want to have a heck of a player in corner outfield. But in his third attempt of getting into the league, I believe he will. I give this about a 90% chance. I don't know why he would still not get into the league. Gary Woods, a 2, like it in the outfield, can hit lefties, like the power. He has the walks. Don't like the 1 and 2 there. Liability against righties. Sure, as a platoon outfielder, I like this guy too because of the power and defense and on base. 235 sucks, but that's because he had 40% against right-handers. I think he's got a 50-50 shot. Surely one team is going to need a corner outfielder just against left-handed pitching. Joe Carter. I think this might be his rookie year. Left fielder, and oh, look at this. This guy rakes lefties with power. He hits fine. He's decent enough against right-handed pitching. You may not want to play him a lot against right-handed pitching to bring his average down, and that's 65%. But you've got to get this into your league. This is exciting right there. That's how you win at Strat. Joe Carter's card against lefties, 275. In his third attempt, he's better than Motley. I'm putting him in the league. I would say 100%. He's getting in. Brian Dayette, 2, corner guy. Okay. Power's nice. Don't like that. Hammer 1. 1 to 8. Not enough on base. 244. What we got here? 244. Hey, maybe I remember that one. 1 out of 3 shot. Again, there's a lot of competition in corner outfield, and you need to do something special. And he can't even steal. Gary Pettis. All right, now I'm excited. I got a 1 in center field with a -1 arm and a double-A stealer and a switch hitter. If you look at this, you're like, heck, this guy should be in the league already. What's going on? Well, has a hard time getting to first base, as you can see. But he's got some walks here. Don't like the 1 to 7. He'll get in the league. You've got to get this defense into the league. So he's getting into the league. I'm giving a 100% chance. Someone wants a stunning defensive center fielder. And again, he's a double-A stealer and a switch hitter. Probably a 240 hitter. 227. That's why he's not been in the league thus far. 227. 115 strikeouts and 397 at-bats. But he does have some walks. That can help. John Shelby. A poor man's version of Gary Pettis. A 2 in center as opposed to a 1. -4 arm, B stealer, switch hitter. Not much here at the plate, unfortunately. Again, top lines. I like all that. The A bunting, B stealing, everything. But there's just, what are you going to do with this guy? Bat him 9th? Can't even hit and run. 209. If you need defense, sure, he can be a reserve player for you. 50% chance. Marvell Wynn, a 2 in center, a B stealer, left-handed bat who can still survive against the lefties in a platoon. This is a decent card. This is decent. 266. Look at the 653 plate appearances. Pittsburgh wasn't very good in the 80s, and this is sort of why. He was supposed to be their star center fielder, and he's very mediocre. He's good enough to get into the league, but probably not play every day. He's not a liability against lefties, and he doesn't really have he doesn't have for power, of course, but he can run, he can catch the ball, doesn't make errors. I think he gets in the league. I'm giving him a 75% chance of getting in the league. Pat Sheridan. Oh boy, left-hander and 2 in center field, an A stealer, a power. He's got power, he can run. He gets one with walks against righties, none against lefties. I like, though, he's got a lot of things that the other outfielders did not have. 283 batting average. So this guy gets into the league 60% chance versus all the guys I was complaining about for. And the reason is A stealer, walks, a lefty who's not a liability against lefties, a lefty with power against lefties. All right, Milt Thompson extra card doesn't count. We'll skip that one. Hey, we got a star here, Bob Dornier. Now here's a 1 in center field, a double-A. Oh boy, a star is born. Can play both ways. Has on base. He's a leadoff hitter. What is going on? This guy should be in the league already. 100% chance. He will make some team very happy as a leadoff guy. And the batting average is 278. I understand that, but he does walk. And again, he's got the glove in the Double-A. If he had power, that would, you know. If you had him on your team, you'd play him every day. You wouldn't need to platoon him. But he'll get in the league. Phil Bradley. Now we're getting some guys. Look at this card. He's a 2 in center. He's an ace stealer. He can rake right-handed pitching as a right-handed batter, which is very exciting to have. You're not even that concerned he can't hit lefties in a weird sort of hit righty and not lefty scenario. I actually prefer this because you're going to face predominantly right-handed pitching, and you want a guy at the top of the lineup who rakes. So I'll sacrifice what's going on over here. Get me this guy. This is a 65% against righties, but he rakes. This is like a 320 over here and shitty over here. This is like a 300 hitting card. 301. No power, but he's in the league 100%. Kevin McReynolds. Oh, we're getting some stars now. A 1. Okay, he's in the league. This is a guy right here. That's what you want in center field. You know, a Gold Glove player. Power both ways. He's not coming out of the lineup. He's getting in the league. 278 with 20 bombs. His best year in San Diego before he left for the Mets. This card is 100% gets in the league. Brad Cummings. Sorry, Brad. 3-2 ace stealer, but unlike the Phil Bradley card that could hit righties and not lefties, he doesn't hit righties enough. I don't think so. I don't think this card gets in. I give him like a 20% chance of getting in just because he's an ace stealer with some home run pop and some defense, but it's all kind of mediocre at that point. So 1 out of 3, 20% maybe, 20% chance. Kevin Bass, right fielder with a -1 arm, switch hitter. Can't really hit lefties very well. He's good against righties. He's not great. There's nothing really special about this guy. You know, in a platoon, possibly he's good. I give him a 1 out of 3 shot. 260. I mean, it's just not special. George Vukovich. All right, I'm liking this guy too. He reminds me of that Thad Bosley card we saw earlier. Except he can field and throw, and he hits for power. He gets on base. This is a 300 card against righties. The percentage is only 13% against lefties, which means this is probably a 306 card or something like that. 304 and 437 at bats. Sure, and he'll look even better if he's strictly in a platoon. He'll get in the league as a platoon player only, but I'm going to give him a 90% chance. I don't know why you would not want this guy on your team. Joe Orsulak. Well, he's a 3. Can't really steal. No power. Not good enough. Just a 265 hitter maybe? 254. No thanks. Just not good enough. Carmelo Martinez can't really field. He's got an arm. Can't really catch the ball. Like the home runs. Both sides of the plate. Against righties, I like the on base with the walks. Not that good against lefties though. Someone will like the idea of hitting homers both sides of the plate in a platoon role or in a fringe role. I give him a 60% chance of getting in the league. 261. Henry Avocado, as he's called. Can field, a 2 in the corners, be stealer, but it's just, yeah, he gets hits 260, 270. No extra base hits. There's nothing special about this card. 274. If you need a defensive outfielder, you take him. 40%. Dave Henderson, 3 in center with a -2 arm. He can hit both ways. Power both ways. Reminds me of that Daryl Motley card we saw. I'm putting him in the league. I think this guy gets in the league. 280. What's not to like? Someone will need a center fielder who can throw, and you could play him both ways if you wanted to. Candy Maldonado. First of all, his card's screwed up, which is I always hate. Oh, he can hit lefties. 3 -2, 15. Can't hit righties at all. His percentage against lefties is already 78%. So I'm saying he's like a 287 hitter. 268. Yeah, 268. What am I not looking at? Oh, he's really awful against righties. That explains that. Yeah, corner outfielder against lefties only. That's pretty. I like the pop there. So in a platoon, I like him against lefties only. I'll take him. Give him like a 60% chance. Barfield, Jesse Barfield, 2-3. Oh, I hate the E16, but catch and throw, base stealer, and look at the pop both ways. Love the homers against righties. Some walks to help. The walks help both sides of the plate. Keeps him in the lineup both sides of the plate. Batting average, I'm gonna guess. Where's the 58% against the lefties with a lot of hits. 273 is my guess, and probably 20 home runs if he played full time. 284, he didn't play full time, so 14 home runs. 284, I'm a fan of that. He'll get in the league. Beast Stealer he'll get in the league. Give him a 90% chance. Are we down to our last card? We're down to the last card. Here we go. Dave Meyer. Hey, a B hit and runner. I haven't seen one of those in a while. No. My last card's not a very good last card, is it? Sorry about that. Well, that's the last card, and he kind of sucks. No. He gets lefties only. If you need an outfielder who can play some third base for you, he's your guy, but my league doesn't need that. And Dave Meyer, no. 10% chance. And that's it. Those are the fringe players. Some starters. You saw that there were some starters in there who haven't debuted in the league yet. Guys off the top of my head like Kevin Reynolds, Bob Dornier, for instance. You know they would be important players in the story of the 1980s. Matter of fact, Dornier and McReynolds were both in the 1984 playoffs. Cubs, Padres. So that's interesting that we saw both of those cards in that deck. That's the end of this discussion. Thank you for checking it out.